What's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, we're going to go over the weekly custom tactics, meta custom tactics and instructions. I'm going to go through them and each one individually and show you each tactic, what it does. And I'm also going to tell you for the new gen, old gen, the variations, because many of you guys have been asking me about that. Before I do start though, very quickly, I want to say is don't forget, as usual, we've got a defensive formation or a game to start with, close the game out, and progressively goes attacking to the ultra attacking. The 4-3-2-1, I've just put in as in for this week. It does work. I would want you just to try it. You can use either this or the 4-1-2-1-2 is what I want to say. So we start off with the 4-2-3-1. Now, as I explained to you 2 weeks ago, the 4-3-3 is now gone. For the sole reason is this 4-2-3-1 with the extra strike. And how this works is, think of this formation like a 4-2-3-1 naturally. So here are the tactics and instructions. It's quite balanced. Reduce the width and the depth. So it's a bit on the defensive side, hence it's very good for starting the game in. And we've got long ball and chance creation on forward run, 65 width, and we do have one player in the box. Just because we do change to it as a defensive formation, you can, if you want to, increase the players in the box, but don't forget, you can just add the instructions, get into the box for a cross, overwrite that anyway. That just positions the team a bit lower back, or the amount of players that are allowed in the box. Overrides anyway, so it makes no difference. But don't forget, inside the game, you can use the D-pad tactic extra striker to make this attack basically in a 4 and the 2. You can argue that CDM's kind of like a the CDM's kind of like a center back and a CDM, and then you got the 3 cams, Lam and a Ram and a Cam, and then you got the striker and you got the extra striker being Cancelo. So you can make this formation very attack on the fly. Don't forget the D-pad tactics. Those you ask me about this player, guys, try to look for a player who's got a high attacking work rates and has got very good shooting stats. That way the player would go naturally. If you want to, you can use the instruction extra striker, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just use the D-pad tactic. Striker, stay central, come back and defense. Stay central is important because if the center back comes forward, you don't want your main strike kind of drifting away. You still want him to be the main player, the main guy in the main area, I suppose you can say. Lam, Ram, Cam, come back in defense, get into the box for a cross. Both CDMs cut passing lanes, step out attacking cover center. And left back and right back, stay back, conservative, and overlap. Now, if you are on new gen, because this is a defensive formation, I would typically leave it as it is. If you find the defensive line is a bit too low, feel free to increase the depth by about 20. That's what I would say. Don't go too far, because don't forget, if you are playing on new gen, it's still going to be defensive anyway because the auto drop back feature. Then we have the 3-5-2. Now this, as I mentioned, this defends in a 5-3-1-1. So what happens is that the left mid and right mid, they come back to make the left back and right back. That's your bank of 5. Cancelo comes in, Rice goes to CDM, Bernardo Silva goes to right center mid. So you defend in the 5-3-1-1. It's a more defensive variation of the 3-5-2. But you can just change it. These are tactics. It's quite aggressive. You want to be high up the pitch. We just decrease the width mainly because when you're defending, you defend in a 5, and sometimes the width is a bit too big. And narrow width allows you to overload the ball side. And if your opponent switches the ball, because you've got 5 players, it's easy for you to kind of go along with the switch and your team to shift across easier because you've got 5 players as opposed to 4. Build up is slow build up play. You can use long ball, but if you're not, I would say if you don't use a lot of it, if you rush too much, I would say use slow build-up play. Kind of will force you to play a bit slower. Direct passing, 45 and 7 players in the box. Now, if you want to, you can put all these 3 players on stay forward. But what I've done is I put one of them on stay central, get in behind, stay forward. The other one on stay forward, get into the box to Cam. And then left striker, because I want him to come as a left centre mid. I put him on stay central, get it behind, and come back in the fence. Okay, so that's how he comes back and makes a 3 in midfield. Both CDMs on cut passing lanes, step out while attacking, cover centre. Left mid and right mid, come back in the fence, get into the box for a cross, get it behind for both of them. And left centre back and right centre back on overlap, and the rest on default. Now, if you want to make this more attacking, as I said, just put all these 3 players on stay forward. This will make it more attacking. You can put one of your centre mids on get forward, and then you can use long ball. There you go. That's the solution. Very, very easy, and that's how you make it more attacking. Now, going over to the 4-3-2-1, and while I'm at this point, of course, this video is going to be sponsored by no one else but myself. Don't forget this. If you want to get better at FIFA, you can come join my FIFA School Series. Patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description. You've got over the last 3 years videos. Probably the most videos I think I've on any platform out there. And don't forget, if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is a NealGuides guarantee. Link is down below in the description and in the pinned comment section down below. I'm going to be making a video for the 4-3-2-1 this week on my Patreon, but these are the tactics. Very, very simple. 50 width, 60 depth, long ball, direct passing, 55 and 7. You can use, again, direct passing or forward runs. Those that are on old gen may prefer forward runs a bit more, to be honest. I do. Direct passing really has the element if you're looking for that kind of that sweat first time shot. But this formation is perfect for that. And in this one, we don't. I explained yesterday how you can defend this in a 4-4-2. For some reason, people find that complicated because they don't watch the video. They just skip to the tactics and then they start crying after. I think I explained it quite well, but just to avoid any confusion, I'm just going to go with the three players on stay forward, 3 on centre mid, and then you got 4 at the back. That way, if your opponent's playing a 5-2-1-2, 3-5-2, excuse me, I got eyelash in my eye. Unfortunately, the perils having long eyelashes, but wrong time as well. But 3 centre mids. So if your opponent's got 2 strikers and a cam, you've got a 3 versus 3 there against a 3-5-2, 5-2-1-2, 4-1-2-1-2, 3-4-2-1. Etc, etc. Stay central, stay forward for the striker, get in behind. Left wing and right wing both on stay forward, get in behind. 1 CDM, and ideally someone with medium high attacking work rate. It says stay back, stay on the edge, cover center. Both left centre mid and right centre mid get into the box for a cross, cover center. And you can put one of them on get forward or both of them on get forward. You can leave one on balanced, one on get forward, leave one on stay back, one on get forward. Depends on how you play. I'd recommend put both of them on get forward first. If it's 2 attacking, leave one of them on balance. The most important thing here being, don't forget, is get into the box for cross and cover center. Left back and right back, stay back and overlap, no conservative here. And the centre backs are on default as well. So that is, of course, the 4-3-2-1 tactic. So as I explained, when I start the game, I would normally typically start with this formation. This is important, as I say again. It depends on your skill level. If you're a rank 1 player and you're watching this, you're probably going to be on a 4-2-3-1 the entire game. If you're in Division 10 in Rivals, you're probably going to be on a 4-2-2 trying to go for a counter-attack, or sorry, trying to get the ball back because you're probably losing while your opponent's playing the counter-attack system. So it depends. But I normally start on a 4-2-3-1. For my skill level, I probably stay here 99% of the time. But if I can't get past, I normally use an extra striker first. Then I go to the 3-5-2. And the 3-5-2, what it is, I use it also as a defensive formation. So if I want 5 defenders and a bank of 3 in the midfield and 2 strikers and dominate the central column, I just simply go to the 3-5-2. And the 4-3-2-1 is basically a 3 versus 3 up front. Less than the mid, right side also join the attack as well. And it becomes very, very effective. So that is how I use it. So we have one to play the game, close the game out. One that's equally ultra attacking, but equally that's also ultra defending. So this is more of a balanced formation. This is one extreme when you're attacking, susceptible to the counter attack. One extreme when you're defending, but of course harder for you to build up because you're defending in a 5-3-1-1, even harder than a 4-2-3-1, arguably. Then you have the 4-3-2-1, which is kind of like just attacking direct in the middle, 4-3-2-1. And then you have the 4-2-2, which will be the formation to use if you're losing. I am probably going to change this to the 4-2-4. Bringing back the 4-2-4 for those of you that used it is just because a lot of players now realize, and I'm realizing this now, is where the meta is really shifting is everyone's got team of the season players. Everyone's got 99 stamina. In fact, I see a lot of players just put constant pressure on straight away. They don't even use the 4-2-2. I say use press after possession loss. That way you can activate team press to make it like constant pressure in the game. But that way you can use your 4-2-2 as, okay, I want to use this formation to start the game to apply pressure. So let's say, for example, your opponent's holding the ball from the first minute. You can go to this without going to constant pressure immediately. But if you want to, you can do that or just use constant pressure and use it purely as, okay, my opponent's got the ball. He's passing it from left back to right back. I can't press in a 4-3-2-1 or 3-5-2. Then you go to the 4-2-2. High width, high depth to be as wide across the pitch and as high up the pitch as possible. It's pretty self-explanatory when you're trying to get the ball. Long ball forward runs, 45 width because you still want to be, don't forget the 4-4-2 is still wide formation naturally. So 45 width doesn't mean they're going to be so narrow. So don't make that mistake. Don't forget this is a 4-2-2 though. So the cams are just a bit more inside, which is what I personally prefer. Players in the box on 6. Just because when I got ultra attacking, I don't actually cross the ball that much. I normally recycle the ball, get the ball to the strike, and then try to break through elastic dribbling or fake shot. But of course, feel free to increase this depending on how much. If you're really going for the gung-ho type, you can go to 9, even 10, although that is probably going to be quite risky. And then we go over to instructions. So we got one striker on comeback and offense, one on stay forward. Both of them are stay central. The lamb and the ram, and don't forget, contrary to belief, the lamb and the ram guys, these are basically wingers. Think of the 4-2-2 like the 4-4-2 second variation with 2 CDMs. The only difference is that these are cams, and you can argue they're a bit more attacking, whereas the 4-4-2 flat, they're a bit more defensive. That's the way that I'll say it. But we have comeback and offense for both of them. Feel free to get into the box for a cross. I personally leave them unbalanced. I think the game is quite smart enough to know when, for my playstyle, when to go inside the box or not. And you can always trigger them yourself in manually. One CDM on cut passing lane, step back while attacking cover center. The other one is exactly the same. What I would recommend for most of you though is put one of the center mids on get forward or on balanced. The reason why I leave them on stay back while attacking is because just from experience, I just know when and how to trigger the center mid going forward. If you're sitting here saying, you know what, no, I trigger the strikers and attackers, but I don't trigger the center mids, or I'm not triggering it when I'm frustrated, then put it on get forward. Obviously, from my experience and knowledge of playing the game for many, many years, even when I'm frustrated, I still trigger the right player. But it will just depend, because I know a lot of you guys are losing games simply and merely because you're frustrated as opposed to your opponent being better. You might, for example, be facing a player that was not as good as you. You lost that game. Then you face another one that's not as good as you. Because you're frustrated from the last game, it kind of rolls on to the next game and have a snowball effect up until you take a break, unless you play a long time later. So that is something that I want to mention. And left back and right back, both of them on stay back. And you can put overlap. I don't know why I don't have overlap. Normally, I would always put overlap on the left back and right back because I want them to go around. Because you never want, for example, Mkhitaryan to go on the outside and Hakimi to go on the inside. I mean, although it's team of the year, Hakimi makes no sense. Mkhitaryan 5-star, 5-star. You obviously want him in the middle, the most attacking player with the better shooting. So that is why the player is always on the outside. But yeah, that is I'm probably going to bring back the 4-2-4. In terms of the 4-3-2-1, to be honest, I just left it here just for the kind of the sake of it. If you do prefer the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation from last week, do use that. I kind of don't know what I'm going to put here. I'm thinking of maybe, I don't even really know, to be honest. I have an empty slot here. So I'm still, maybe I might drop the 4-2-2 down over here and then have, for example, a 4-2-4 all-out attack and maybe like a 4-2-2 just a pressing one. I'm honestly not too sure, to be honest. That's something else I want to say to you. So give it a try. See if you like it. If not, go back to the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation. Don't forget, for each one of these tactics, the video is on my channel. And don't forget, this video is sponsored by Patreon series, patreon.com/NealGuides. If you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. Link is down below in the description and is in the pinned comment section down below. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. In fact, you know what? Watch this video as well. I think this will help you. If you're wondering about the center mids, watch these 2 videos actually that I uploaded last month. That would probably give you a bit of an insight on how you can trigger them. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and of course, I'll catch you next time.